Okay, we're going to keep supplies simple because I don't want any obstacles to you getting started. I have a couple of options for paint and for paper. Of course, if you already have gouache paint and watercolor paper, by all means use what you got. Okay, let's go over these supplies. The Turner Design Gouache is what I recommend for paint. It's a high to middle range. It's not Winsor & Newton, but it also doesn't break the bank. This set of 18 through Jerry's Artorama, and I don't have any special arrangement with them, but they're just, I find them really reasonable and fast shipping. I think they have this on sale for $43, which is fantastic for the quality, the size, and the range of color. And so that's my recommended. I also found an option that is less, and this one, I did test it. This is Marie's. And I'll put where I got it in the notes. I can't remember if I got it on Amazon or on Jerry's, but it was really inexpensive. I did test it. It's fine. It was, I think, around $12 for the set. And brushes, these are not super expensive. They're also not cheapies, but they really make a difference. I like the Princeton Velvet Touch. You only need 3 sizes, 10, 4 or 5, and a 1 or 2. And if you have sizes already that are close to these, please use them. Do not feel like you need to get these exact sizes. This I use a lot. It's just a little eyedropper thing. You can use a leftover eyedropper from a medicine bottle or whatever. It just allows me to put water into these little containers, and that brings me to these things. I love keeping my paints in containers that I found on Amazon. They really work well. It allows me to keep my favorite colors all made up and ready to go. And then I also use paper plates. These are the cheapy ones that are, they have sort of a waxy finish on them so that the paint doesn't soak in. So when we mix colors, they'll just dry on here, and all we do to use them is get some water, and there they are, all ready to go. Couldn't be easier. On the paper front, there are a variety of qualities. Canson is a very fine, it's a fine brand. It's available at Michael's or most art supply stores, and sometimes you can get a coupon for half off. So that's at the lower end. Then there's Strathmore, which is very nice paper, has a nice tooth to it, we call it. And then if you want to get fancy, you can go for some of the expensive ones, but honestly, for what we're doing, you don't really need it. You really don't. So I would get, again, if you already have paper, use what you have as long as it's a watercolor paper. And that covers supplies. I told you I was going to keep it simple.